Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. Please excuse my voice. I know that my voice sounds a little bit scratchy because I am just waking up, but I did want to record this twin flame reading for today because, as you guys know, I do channel twin flame readings specifically on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in between those times and days, I've also been channeling a lot of, well, what I'm calling mini readings, but they really aren't so mini anymore because a lot of them do get to be a little bit lengthy. But my main readings are on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if you would like to join our beautiful community here and also to tune in your energy to this reading so that I'm able to pick up more easily on you and your energy and the energy of your situation, then be sure to subscribe to this channel because by subscribing, this does make you parts of our collective here, which does make it easier for me to pick up on your situation. Now, the first card to come out is an interesting one, the Angel of Love card in the reverse position. I felt this weight on my shoulders, and right away, I heard a masculine say, "It's the weights of what I'm not saying, but what I want to say." And specifically, as I was saying that, channeling that from this masculine, fourth chakra reversed and envy in the upright position. And I feel that the gist of what this masculine wants to say or be more verbal about in the physical world is, quite simply, I feel a masculine saying, "My heart is closed to other options. My heart is closed." When I said the word options, I really heard the word possibilities. My heart is closed to any possibility besides you. I specifically heard a masculine say, "I can't get excited about anything else." That's an interesting energy. It's almost like this masculine is trying to distract himself. I heard adrenaline rush. So there may be a masculine here trying to distract himself with getting some kind of an adrenaline high from, for some reason I heard for some it's sports, it might be driving something fast, whether it's a car or a motorcycle, it might be some kind of hobby or interest. I'm actually picking up on a masculine who's always been kind of like a thrill seeker or always looking for, I heard impulsive and always looking for another kind of like adrenaline high, but that won't be the case for everyone. But for this particular masculine, he's saying that all of those usual things that usually cause him to feel temporarily alive are not working at this point. And I feel this is because of, with this envy card upright, the extreme feeling of absence is the best word. Absence of you, feminine, whether he's sensing this absence as some kind of an energetic or emotional or mental disconnect, or whether there is literally some kind of physical distance between the two of you. Again, do keep in mind, by the way, I channel many different twin flame connections and different masculines and feminines throughout these readings. So if something doesn't resonate with you, be sure to always listen to your own intuition and only take what connects with you. Do keep in mind, all of these cards I'm pulling are coming through strongly at the center of the heart space. So you, Divine Feminine, might be feeling a lot of heart sensations, but specifically even more so than the physical, although some of you may be feeling this masculine's emotions physically, I'm hearing as a sudden increase in your own heart rates or irregular heart beating, but of course without any kind of a medical cause. Always explore that first. But if these heart sensations don't have a medical cause, this could be because of all of this emotional energy. I'm hearing it's like a heaviness at the heart center for this masculine right now. But again, it's the heaviness of their own silence or their own inaction and how they're contemplating changing that. because it's becoming a burden. It's such a strange message, but their own silence, their own inaction, if that's relevant to your situation. I just saw the number 533. That might be significant to someone, but it's like their own inaction or their own lack of communication. It's becoming really heavy for them. I hear them saying, I am seeing it in dreams. Also, for some reason, this masculine wants me to tell you that you are the first person that he has been thinking about when he wakes up in the morning. And I feel that his higher self is sharing this because there's someone here who may have been recently thinking of their masculine counterpart more frequently right when they awaken or as they're trying to fall asleep. And this is because this is when this masculine is thinking most strongly about you. If you're on different sleep schedules, you may find that you think about your masculine in the middle of your nights or in the middle of your day, whenever they would be going to sleep. It's kind of a strange message, but if you notice that they randomly pop into your head strongly and with a lot of emotion at a certain time of the day that doesn't seem to be around the time you are falling asleep, know this might be around the time they are falling asleep. So do be aware of that also. Wow, okay, very strong offers coming through. I'm hearing something real and something heartfelt is what this masculine wants to give you, but I also feel this low level of confidence, a lack of confidence going on for this masculine. Confidence, I'm hearing in the value of his offer to your life right now. Man holding a heart and man holding a coin both came out in the upright position. These are two very strong masculine offer cards. So in the extended version of this reading, I am going to be channeling more specifically. By the way, the numbers 43 or 45 might be significant to you, or for some people, you and this person, this will only be for a few people, but for some, there might specifically be an age gap of a few years between you. But regardless, take it as it connects. But in the extended version of this reading, I am going to be channeling more information on what kind of offer this masculine wants to come in with, what is weighing heavily on him as far as this feeling of inaction on his part or this lack of communication, and how he is really in his heart space, but also in his head space, thinking about moving forward this situation, because I do feel not only a lot of heavy feeling, but a lot of heavy thoughts on this as well. I'm actually hearing a masculine say, I have trouble thinking about or focusing on anything else. So I will be sharing more information on that in the extended reading, which is in the pinned comments and description box under this video. But for now, I do want to move forward to see what else is going on in this masculine's world. Fifth chakra, the throat chakra, in the reverse position. I'm hearing not talking to anyone. So you'll know how this connects. For some of you, there may have been a fear on the feminine's part of wondering whether this masculine was talking to other feminines or other people. And I can't speak to whether this is happening in the 3D, because I feel that this message, this throat chakra reversed, is really sitting energetically on a higher self level. What I'm getting is, regardless of any situation that you may have been concerned about regarding other feminines or the potential of other feminines, regardless of what's happening in the 3D, this masculine's higher self is saying, it's like, when I compare the depths of the communication, the conversations I have with anyone else around me, platonically, romantically, however that applies, it's nothing compared to the depth of what I shared with you, and I'm realizing that now. And because of that lack of depth with anyone around me, either this masculine literally is not communicating with people around him, meaning he may have really withdrawn himself. I'm getting hermit mode, withdrawn himself even from friends, from family. I'm getting a very strong dark night of the soul vibe from this masculine. But even if he is, or I'm hearing when he has to communicate with people around him who, from his perspective, I feel like there's this realization of these people do not understand me. In fact, no one in my life has ever really understood me the way that you understand me. The words pass and love came out from the love word scramble, which for those of you who are new, this is just a tool I use to channel specific words for specific individuals. But with these two words, and then the thinking man being at the bottom of the deck here, wow, speaking to a masculine in his ego, I feel like the strongest regret this masculine is feeling is I passed on love. I gave up a love for my ego. It's like forsaking love for logic, if that makes sense, forsaking love for ego. And this masculine looking back from this more awakened states and wondering, was I just walking around blind? How could I have chosen my head over my hearts? Is what I'm getting most strongly from this masculine. But again, we will be getting more in depth on that in the extended version of the reading. As far as how this masculine is feeling heaviness in the heart space, how he could be feeling regrets over his own inaction, and how or what he wants to communicate to the feminine, which again, all of that is linked in the pinned comment and description. But for now, I do want to speak to the divine feminine. I have to tell you right away, I was getting this message from the feminine of why now? And I know this might apply to different people differently, but I feel that there is this energy of having set the course of her life on a certain life path, or having made some kind of a choice or a decision, whether this was a literal decision in the 3D around life or love, or whether this was simply the decision to try and pull back her energy a bit from the masculine to really focus on herself. But there's this feeling of, I'm hearing a feminine say, why are the emotions intensifying now? Why are for some, it's the dream experiences, the higher self communications, the signs. Why is everything ramping up now? Because I feel that many feminines, after having withdrawn themselves, pulled their energy away in some sense, which of course this won't apply literally for everyone, they now feel with all tied up reversed as though something is breaking open in the hearts. What they're really feeling is the heart space of the masculine breaking open, but of course being twin flames, they're feeling this within their own energy fields as well. Interesting. What else is going on for the feminine? Walking away in the reverse position. I'm getting this kind of looping feeling of walking away, and then as you're walking away, coming straight back, trying not to think about someone and then thinking about them even more. And I feel this frustration on the part of the feminine because there's this feeling of, again, I get this message a lot in these readings, but I love you. I love you and I have to live my life. And if that means living a life that is apart from you physically, at least temporarily, then that's just what I have to do. I feel like there's a feminine here who felt as though she was backed into a corner by the lack of forward movements action on the part of a masculine, but now all of a sudden he's coming back in her energy fields with this energy of, wait, don't go, is kind of what I'm getting for these two people. Again, just take it as it connects with you. I also feel a lot happening within the solar plexus of the connection. And I say of the connection because I feel that this is affecting both the masculine and the feminine here. But I feel that feminine, you may have felt some uneasiness in your solar plexus, some uncomfortable stomach or abdominal sensations. For some of you, even changes in your appetite, in your weights, in your desire to eat. Maybe at times you felt nauseous and not wanting to eat, or at times you felt like you've been eating a lot more than usual. Things like that can indicate these solar plexus chakra shifts and this energy shift. And I feel like this is the masculine feeling in a very low confidence state, regardless of what he is presenting. The solar plexus is really the seats of our confidence, but also the powerhouse of our energy. And I feel that part of why this masculine has struggled to be decisive, to be fully committing to the feminine or to this connection, came from some either a weakness of confidence or a weakness of boundaries, depending on your situation, possibly even both for some of you. But this comes from a low or kind of stagnant solar plexus energy that's it's like it didn't fuel them to be able to move forward with a great deal of confidence. And I feel right now, Spirit is guiding them to rebuild, to regain this sense of authentic confidence, pushing them by circumstances, by potentially decisions of the feminine, by circumstances of their life to truly come into their own, to find themselves, their true, authentic soul selves beneath all of those layers that they may have projected or tried to put on to please other people or to fit in with a broken society. They are coming into that true, authentic self. But this process of shifting energy, shifting into that authentic confidence and forward movements action is turbulent at times because there are some masculines I feel still trying to repress or fight this spiritual awakening happening within them. I just saw the words poem and plain come out of the love word scramble. Some masculines here might be poets or be writing poetry. This is so specific, but there's a masculine who is really self-conscious of his singing voice, but he writes lyrics sometimes for music, and he's been writing these lyrics that are essentially poems because I feel he's a bit too self-conscious to be actually singing them, but they are poems that are like love poems for you. Wow, I got this wave of just goosebumps. This masculine is coming in with a really intense, soft but heartbroken love energy here for whoever this is applying for. And I feel this masculine saying that it's like you don't even know how much creativity you inspire within me because I don't always share my creations with you because of this self-consciousness. So I feel that many masculines, whether they are vocal about this or not, are actually channeling this overwhelming love they're feeling for you, feminine, through some kind of creative outlets or endeavor. I'm hearing a masculine say it didn't work to try to forget you, to try to repress these feelings about you, to try to cover them with, for some of them, the next high from life or from success or from adrenaline or whatever the case is. And so instead of trying to forget you, I've been forced to vent this emotional energy somewhere. And again, for many of them, this is through, I'm hearing secret poetry or writings or music or artwork, whatever this masculine uses. I'm hearing hidden talents. So again, I feel that he's very self-conscious of whatever this creative outlet is. You may not even know that it exists, feminine, or if you do, if you are aware of it, you'll know this masculine is very self-conscious about this gift, but this is actually one of their spiritual gifts that they're coming into, that you are actually awakening within them. With the third eye chakra in the upright position, this isn't just them, kind of whimsically creating or doing these things. It's actually them being inspired to come into more of their true spiritual gifts and their truest, most authentic self. And this is resulting from this opening through the third eye. I feel that I'm picking up on a masculine here who is, I'm getting painfully intuitive. The words impossible and Sam came out. So for some reason, when I heard the word impossible, I thought about impossible burgers, like vegetarian foods. And this is so specific, but there may be a masculine who is exploring vegetarianism or changing up his diet, or this could be a feminine who is doing this. Regardless, I feel that the name Sam, that might be the masculine or a masculine themselves, or this could be someone around them. This could be a friend or someone close to them. But regardless, I feel that Again, by the way, when I do channel specific names, these are hyper specific, so they're only meant to connect with one or two people listening. I just like to add those personal touches for certain individuals coming to the reading as they come up throughout the reading, but always only take what connects with you. So, what I was saying is, I feel that this masculine is around people who are. This is really interesting. There's a masculine here who is getting a lot of advice or guidance from people around him about your connection, but you have no 3D awareness of this. I feel that he may never tell you that he's been consulting or talking with these other people about how to move forward with you. This masculine is desperate for answers, is what I'm getting. Specifically, answers about why you have been stuck in his head and hearts for so long and how to move forward from here. So for some masculines, these could be family members, these could be friends in their life. I have to tell you, I feel that this masculine is getting many different opinions here because he's trying to get clarity on what this connection is. I feel I'm picking up on a masculine who has heard the word twin flame or twin flames somewhere, and something kind of rang a bell in him where he thought, wow, that kind of sounds like the connection that I have with, XYZ, whoever his feminine is. But then he kind of dismissed the thought because there's a part of him also thinking, I feel like I'm just making this up, or maybe I'm just being crazy about this. And that signifies this masculine potentially still trying to repress what his soul is coming into or is trying to show him. His higher self, I have to tell you, there's a masculine whose higher self has absolutely given him the term twin flame or twin flames in some sense or in some way. But this masculine, like with many other aspects of this journey and this connection, is trying to dismiss or repress this. I'm hearing all of these signs coming to him, all of these synchronicities, these connection points, these messages from his own higher self. I just keep getting the message of this masculine is so intuitive and is so spiritual, but he doesn't fully know it. And I feel that in some cases I'm seeing this kind of block, this artificially created block for this masculine around his own spirituality or intuitiveness. For some of them, this could be a particular belief system that is already in place. This could be a very rigid culture or religion or family dynamic or something that is a rigid way of thinking. It could be a political ideology. Regardless, I feel something rigid coming up against this kind of flowing spiritual energy that has to be worked through for this masculine, and it will be worked through. It's essentially inevitable because of this powerful energy that you are causing to be awakened within this masculine. It's like he can't hold back. He can't hold back what his soul knows. And the more he tries to repress it, the more he feels these negative sensations. Specifically, I feel that a lot of these negative sensations may come through his emotions. This feeling of just wanting to disconnect from everyone and everything and go into this kind of isolation because there's this feeling of people around me. Again, it's like this masculine has gone full circle in his mind. The number 24 keeps coming up for someone, by the way, but he's gone full circle in his mind and keeps thinking. I have to tell you, for some of you, this is a masculine looking back over 5 or 10 years of his life, whether that represents looking back. I keep seeing 8 years for someone, if that connects, and also someone coming back 3 times. So you may have connected with this person 3 separate times, or dated 3 separate times, or seen each other 3 times, or something along those lines. But regardless, I feel this masculine saying, I am realizing that absolutely no one understands me except you, Divine Feminine. See, what's really, really funny here, and I'm just now realizing this, is I was trying to read into the feminine energy here, and look who came back. It was the masculine again. So what this tells me is that divine feminine and divine masculine, although of course you are always energetically intertwined, I feel like for a while, for some of you, something about this connection, it was always there, but there may have been a period of time in the past or even the recent past where this connection felt dormant to you, meaning it was there beneath the surface, but you felt as though you weren't actively thinking about it as obsessively or frequently. You weren't feeling so much of it. You weren't seeing so many signs. Maybe this is the period of time where some may have made decisions to move forward with their life in certain ways. But then all of the sudden, it may feel as though a connection, I'm hearing the sleeping giants. This connection is like the sleeping giant. It's like it was always there. It was always powerful and intense and uncontrollable. Yeah, I keep getting this funny metaphor with this giant, and it's like this monster that is asleep, and there's this feeling of wanting to tiptoe around it because you don't want to wake it up. And the reason you don't want to wake it up is because you know once you awaken it, you're not going to be able to control it. And I feel that this was your connection for a period of time. It was this sleeping giant that was dormant, but it was as intense and powerful. I'm hearing it held all of that potential, but it hadn't yet been fully awakened or activated. But now it is awake. It is active. And that is why all of these masculine messages were coming up again for when I was trying to channel the feminine, because Spirit here is saying that feminine, so much of what you are feeling and experiencing is actually energetic, emotional, and even mental. I'm getting like specific images telepathically coming to you from the masculine. This is so strange, but it's like that intertwined energy between the two of you has become so awakened. And I have to tell you, I keep getting this visual of a masculine who it's like, again, for a while in these higher realms, so to speak, there may have been this element of, how do I explain this? This is such a complex energy, but you will know if this connects for you how it applies. But it was almost as though this masculine's higher self and his 3D self were disconnected. And because he was disconnected a bit from his higher self, who, of course, at the higher self level was always connected with you, feminine, and with your higher self, but because his 3D self wasn't really fully in tune with that, there was this kind of dormant nature in the physical to your connection where feminine, I feel that it was easier for you to put this on some kind of a back burner or in some kind of a box. I'm not saying that you weren't thinking about it or feeling about it, but it's like there was a period of time where it just felt more dormant to you. But once this masculine began connecting his 3D self to his higher self, experiencing that self-reconnection, now all of the sudden, feminine, you are probably being pummeled with more and more signs, synchronicities, sensations physically, feeling so much coming from this masculine, but what you're really feeling is the fact that, I just heard he's awake. The fact that your masculine is now connecting the dots, connecting his physical 3D consciousness with his higher self. And I feel on one or both sides here, I kept getting the image of someone just like gripping really tight to a steering wheel. Now this might be literal for someone, like someone finding themselves just holding really tight all of a sudden to a steering wheel. And I don't know why I keep seeing this, but I feel metaphorically it could be this masculine saying he's trying not to lose control of himself or of this situation. It's like that feeling of trying to keep your car on the road, trying not to spiral out, trying to remain, I'm hearing for some, driven and focused. The feminine might be feeling some of this energy from her inner masculine as well. But the thing is that this masculine is losing control of the appearances or the life or the decisions that he may have created from a space of seeking some kind of, with root chakra in the midway position, some kind of material validation or security or safety, because all of that now means nothing compared to this higher self knowing he is now receiving through this reconnection between his 3D self and his higher self. And all he can really think about and what he feels he has no control over thinking about is this happy family card upright and appreciation upright. Is this feeling of, for some masculines I heard, I was happy with you, and that's the only time that I've been truly happy because I was connecting with my soul's true counterpart. That won't be for everyone, but do let me know if that resonates. But regardless, this masculine, all he can think about is reconnection, reconnecting with you, reigniting this spark between the two of you that, of course, never really went away, but that he is now so inevitably attuned to. And also with appreciation uprights, the other thing that he can't stop thinking about is simply how much he adores you, how much he admires you. And I hear some masculine saying, in spite of everything. So there may have been rocky times between the two of you where one or both of you really wanted to disconnect from the other, or may have even really wanted to, I'm hearing wanted to hate the other. I know hate is a strong word, but it's like, I wanted to hate you because it would be easier. Because if I could somehow write you off, for some reason I'm hearing some masculines say write you off as crazy. That won't be for everyone, but write you off in some way, then I wouldn't have to feel the way that I'm feeling now. But this masculine realizes he is unable to, not only can he not hate you, but he's unable to stop loving you with the most intense, unconditional, adoring kind of love that he's ever felt for anyone, and that he has found over the course of time that he can only feel for you. So I will be channeling in the extended version of this reading more messages on what this masculine is realizing, or how this masculine is recognizing the soul bond between you and themselves, and also love messages that this masculine wants to share with you, Divine Feminine, at the higher self level. So that will be in the extended version of this reading in the pinned comment and description. But of course, right at the end of this reading, Magician and the Mirror in the reverse position. This is one of the two twin flame cards in this deck, and this tends to speak to the balance between masculine and feminine energy. But as I spoke on in one of my recent readings, the fact this card is reversed isn't telling me so much that things are severely out of balance, as it's telling me that there's a lot of pushing and pulling back and forth happening between the masculine and feminine on the higher self level, the energetic level at this time, which is why some of you may be experiencing strange, unexplainable physical symptoms, sensations, emotional feelings. I see someone just like crying out of nowhere. You will know how this connects for you, but anything I'm hearing unexpected that's been coming up for you may be actually a result of this push-pull energy between the masculine and feminine at the higher self level that is actually doing this kind of push and pull effect for the purpose of bringing you into greater balance and alignment and harmony with one another energetically. So in the extended, I will be sharing more on this push and pull energy between the masculine and feminine and what is happening here. So more information on that will be in the extended reading in the pinned comment and description. I also see someone wearing some kind of a necklace with a crystal or a stone on it of some kinds, if that connects with anyone. Merciful Mother Jamal, the number 44 card. This is the final card to come out from the Rumi Oracle. So I heard one is awakening, but one is close behind. Let me know if that connects with anyone. Sorry, I just had to get the guidebook because I do want to close this reading by channeling one final message from the Rumi Oracle here. So the guidebook here says, "Oh, sudden resurrection." Wow, what a perfect starting line. A resurrection, coming back from the abyss, becoming active after a state of what felt like Maybe things were inactive or dormant. Oh, countless blessings. Oh, blazing fire in the jungle of thoughts. This masculine is absolutely trapped in the jungle of his thoughts right now. Today you arrive with laughter to break open the jail, Rumi. So, although this masculine feels lost in his head and his thoughts, really what's happening is he is being, I heard, broken out of the matrix, kind of using that symbolism from the Matrix movies. The idea of, though, spiritually, this masculine really coming unplugged from all of these ideologies, belief systems, even people in his life that have held him back from fully accepting and embracing his most spiritual, most fulfilled, most authentic self. Okay, and the guidebook here also says, this oracle brings you a message. There is a shift taking place now and a matter of great importance to you. This is your path, your destiny, and your blessing, now opening before you. It may be a particular matter, however. It likely includes your entire life orientation. Wow, so I feel this masculine's higher self saying to his 3D physical self, like it might look like the reason you are in agony or in this jungle of your thoughts is because of this one specific thing, because of this person, because of this love. But in truth, it's because of the way that this love was intended on a soul level to awaken you to your true self, to your true purpose. You shall find that the unraveling of the struggle and pain now happens through tenderness, a gentler approach. So really beautiful messages from the guidebook, and I will be pulling a second Rumi Oracle card at the end of the extended reading also, as well as addressing everything that came up throughout this reading that is listed out in the pinned comment and description box if you would like to learn more about what we will be channeling and discussing in the extended reading. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day and weekends, and I will talk to you again in Monday's Twin Flame reading.